Hi guys, welcome back to Push the Brakes podcast with your girl Connie. Guys, episode 9 sha. Episode 9. Let me tell you something. I think it's easy for me now because it's like these are pre-recorded. Today's the 17th, by the way. Tomorrow is the drop date. I'm so excited. I to be honest, I don't even know. I don't even know if I want it to be like 10 episodes, like season 1 to just have 10 episodes and then I come back with season 2. I don't know. Really, I don't know. So yeah, tomorrow is the 18th. I'm really scared because I don't know, like, it just has my nerves, like, ooh. And I was just deeping, like, even before I pressed record, I hit record today. I was like, rah, these people must be thinking I don't have any personality. Like, I don't come and talk to you guys about anything. Like, I mean, I do come and talk to you guys about something, like things about the Lord's work. Hallelujah. But it's like, I don't give you guys any, like, tea or anything. I mean, I do be spilling a lot about my life, to be honest, but like I don't give you guys personality, if that makes sense. It's always like, like going in. Guys, I have a personality to myself, like, hello. Okay, so yeah, let me see. I'm gonna make a segment where I talk about my week. How has been my week? Right. It's been okay, to be honest. Like, what can I say? It's just been there. A lot of healing in this week. And that's really why that's gonna bring me to this topic. Because this just goes to show this is so real. Like, I'm telling you guys, bro, like literally when I was going through it, I was like, you know what, this is actually an episode topic. Like, but anyway, before I dive into that, my week has been good, thank Jesus. Yeah, I actually went out. Like, I went to a restaurant after work. I'm starting to do things after work, not just being a granny. How did my friend call me the other day and was like, oh, Connie, you're just a granny. And I was like, girl, I'm not a granny. Like, I go out, I do stuff like after work nowadays, you know. But okay, yeah, I don't know why she called me granny. Like, literally, I was like, babe, I understand I'm a granny, but like, anyways. So today, guys, I hope you guys' weeks have been amazing. Yeah, that's my personality, guys. I talk too much, sorry. Yeah, today's episode 9. I just thank God. Like, who knew Connie would actually have a podcast, Bambi? Only God. But anyways, guys, today's topic is going to be juicy. Every time it's juicy, but today's going to be extra juicy, guys. I promise you. We're talking about wait for God's best. Hallelujah. Right. I'm gonna just start off like with this week, right? Like, I don't know, like I've just been like, like I'm like, God, am I wasting my youth? Am I wasting my not my teen years? Oh, God forbid, I'm not a teenager anymore. But am I wasting my early 20s? Because like literally my friend was like, Connie, like you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, what did you do in your early 20s and and this and that. But it's like, guys, I've lived, like I've done what I need to do. But the thing is, for me, just started at a young age, if that makes sense. I started going to the club at 16, you know, because that's what she was meaning. Like, oh, go to the club, live your life, and I'm just like, girl, I've done it. Like, I've been doing it. But now I'm tired. Like, I'm 21 and a granny. I guess that's what you want to, how you want to put it. Let's put it that way. I'm a 21 granny. Like, I just don't want to go to the club anymore. I just don't find joy at the club anymore. I just feel like it drains my soul. Gosh. And I'm not judging anyone who wants to go to the club. Babe, go enjoy. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But know that Jesus, he loves you. Honestly, I'm always gonna bring Jesus into everything that I say. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Before someone starts saying, oh, she's preaching about God, but she's telling people to go to the church, guys, bro, I'm talking to people my age. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So hold on 1 minute. Sorry, I got a call. Yeah, no, what I was saying is like, oh, she's preaching about Jesus and she's telling people go to the club. No. That's not what I'm saying. People are at different stages in life, right? I'm at this is my stage in my life. I feel like I've done it, and you know, and hey, you may be out there and it's like, God loves you, God sees you, and it's a process, you know. Obviously, like, change. Don't stay the same. Invite God. He will convict you. I will never stand here and convict people or like condemn people or judge or say do this, do that. Get to know God for yourself, so that he gives you what he wants you to do. What I'm trying to say, like, listen to what people have to say and say, oh yeah, but like always get to know God for yourself and ask God, what do you want me to do in this season? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because let's not act like there are no Christians out there who go to the club. I used to go to the club when I was a Christian, like back in the day when I was not strong in my faith. Hello. Anyways, nowadays I feel like I need to back my answer so much because I feel like, oh my God, they'll judge me and they'll say, guys, we're healing. Anyways, right, back on topic, Connie. Stop mumbling. Right. Wait for God's best. I'm gonna talk about a time in my life. Wait for Isaac and don't wait. And don't rush for Ishmael. Wait for Isaac and don't rush for Ishmael. Okay? I'm going to talk about a time in my life. This was in 2020, right? I had just come to the UK. For those who know, for those who don't know, I came to the UK in January of 2020. I used to live in Uganda. I was born and raised there. That's why you hear my accent is a bit, what you get? But anyways, I was born and raised in Uganda, and I moved to the UK in January of 2020, and yeah, cool. And then I was asking God for a job, like, because my family was like, Connie, rest, like, you've just come from Uganda, like, you've been through so much. I'll tell my testimony one day, but yeah, you've been through so much, like, just take a breather, just take a rest, just rest for this couple of months and then think of getting a job. Because for me, I was like, bro, I need money, like, I want to get a job, I've just landed in the country, bro, I just got my N9 number and I just need a job. Like, literally, I was thinking at 200 miles an hour, but my family was like, bro, chill out, take a rest, relax, don't rush, push the brake. And I was like, nah, I really need a job. So the whole of February, I took the advice. I said, okay, cool, I'll just stay at home and rest. Everyone has their own life. My nieces, they're going to school. My sister, she's going to work. My sister's ex-husband, or like her husband at the time, he was going to work, and my brother was going to work. So I was just being left at home. So I was obviously bored, but I said, you know what, Connie, allow yourself. You've actually been through a lot. Just relax. That was February of 2020. So March of 2020, I was like, Lord, I need to work. Like, I told my family, I was like, nah, I need to work, bro. Like, I need to get a job and stuff. So my brother helped me apply on Indeed, and I did get a job at a small family restaurant. It was a small family restaurant. Bear in mind, I've never worked a day in my life, bro. So I got the job. I got the job. I went for the interview, everything, blah, blah, blah. So now 2 weeks into the job, lockdown comes. And, I just didn't know how to act. But, like, I didn't really internalize it too much because it was something new, like, like COVID. So we got, like, locked down and stuff like that. Because I remember, I think it was the 3rd week of March that we got locked down. Third week of March. So we got locked down and stuff like that. And everyone was at home, so I didn't really feel the pressure like, okay, everyone has their own life and I'm just being stuck at home. So cool. So that was in March. Then September comes and like they've started to lift every sort of restriction that they had, and my nieces were back to school. My sister was back at work. My sister's ex-husband, or husband at the time, was at work as well, and my brother was at work. So here I am again by myself in the house. And I was like, okay, enjoying it for the first week. For the second week, I was like, okay, no, this is actually boring. This is actually tiring. Like, what's going on? Do you get? At this point, faith-wise, as I said, I've always known God. Like, I grew up in a church and stuff, but I had just given my life to Christ that year. Actually, like literally in lockdown is when I really got to know Christ, and so yeah. And in September, I'm just there, like obviously trying to pick up the pace with God and stuff like that. But I wanted a job because, bruh, like I'm not gonna let my life. I felt like my life was just passing me by. Everyone else has their life now together. I'm just here, and at that point, that was actually a very low point in my life, bruh. Like I had the biggest heartbreak of my life, like just before COVID hit. I had the biggest heartbreak of my life at that time. I was gaining so much weight. I know at this point I hadn't been diagnosed with, I'm just going to say, I got diagnosed with PCOS, bruh. I don't know why I'm laughing. Anyways, I got that because God has already won the victory. I don't have PCOS. Amen. Anyways, so that was even prior before I got diagnosed with that. Anyway, I gained so much weight and all that kind of stuff. Like I just didn't like where I was at, to be honest, September of 2020. And I journal, right? So every year I have a journal for each year. And when I look back at my 2020 journal, I was going through it. I was really going through it. But the thing is, I heard God speak to me, because if I look through the days, it's like God told me, Connie, wait, I have something in plan for you. Just wait. Be patient. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go uni, because it looks like this job thing is not working. Let me try apply to go uni. So when I applied for student finance to try go to uni, bruh, they declined my application. So I was like, they actually declined my application. So what am I gonna do? Because everyone else has something going on for their lives, and I'm just here chilling, bruh. Like my life's just passing me by. I've applied for student finance. They've declined my application. What do I do? I was so angry at God. I was so angry at my family. I was so angry at myself. I was like, bruh, like, who has £18,000 just for tuition and accommodation? That's not even with food. I don't have that kind of money. My sister does not have that kind of money just to give me to go uni, bro. Like when I could actually get it for free, but they declined my flipping application. Cool. I was like, God, I don't know what you're trying to teach me in this season. What you're trying to, bro, like I don't understand. I don't get it, because bruh, you've spoken to me. We've had countless of conversations in lockdown, bruh. Like, let me have my life. Like, let me. But I felt like, because even when I read my journals, it's like I felt like the Lord tell me, Connie, like I want this isolation time. I want this alone time with you. I want you to get to know me. I want you to fall in love with me. I want you to have this intimacy with me, right? But I was just so hard-headed. I was just focused on God. I want a job. Like, even I kid you guys, no, I applied to 70 jobs on Indeed, and not one got back to me. Not one. Not even one email of a denial, bruv. Not one got back to me at this point in October time now. Not one even came back to me. I said, cool. Is that how it is? Fairs. So I was so angry, but the thing is, like, I would always go to God. Like, I remember, like, because this is all in my journal, but like, I would go for walks at the park, and like, it would literally just be me and God. Like, literally, I'd be like, today I had a conversation with God, and he said that be patient. But I was not patient. I was not applying what he's telling me into my life. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Be patient. But this time, he wants me to get to know him. You get what I'm trying to say? Cool. Then November comes. I remember I applied to this job, to this restaurant. It had just opened up, and they got back to me. This was beginning of November. I was like, oh my God, like I'm finally gonna get like a job. So I go for the interview. The guys were Kenyan, I think. Like Indian Kenyan, like the Indians who lived in Kenya and I think came to the UK or something like that. So I was like, oh, wait, no way, because my mom was Kenyan. I don't speak Swahili fluently, but I can understand it. Like when you speak to me in Swahili, I can understand, but I can't speak it. But like these guys were Kenyan in it, so I was like, all right. Like I said to Bass Combo, I was like, Jambo, yeah, trying to Bass Combo, like literally. And that interview, honestly, I cannot tell you what went wrong in that interview, because nothing did. Like everything went so well. Like I bonded well. To be honest, the only thing that I didn't know was when he asked me what are the type of spirits or type of like vodkas or something like that, bro. I didn't know nothing. All I knew was Uganda origin. I'm joking, guys. I'm joking. But anyways, I didn't know. So that was the only thing where I could say, okay, fair enough. He could have failed me from the interview at that point, but everything else was fine. I made sure to be on my best character. I tried to be a little bit funny. Like, bruh, we even talked about like Kenyan food. I know, like, bruh, I don't know what happened, but anyway, so I go for the interview. Everything went well. So I'm back at home. So obviously I know, like, he told me, don't worry, in the next like 5 working days, I'm going to send you an email to tell you what next. So obviously I'm like, yeah. I've got the job. You can't convince me. You can't tell me nothing. I've got the job, guys. And then, this is in November. And then, like, I remember, because when I looked through my journal, it was the 12th of November. I had the interview. Guys, the guy got back to me on like the 18th and said, sorry, you're not what we're looking for. I was shattered. Because I was like, you must be kidding me. I was like, I've prayed. God, I've been with you. I've spent time with you. Why are you not giving me a job? Everyone else, but guys, I'm laughing right now, but you need to understand the severity of how it felt. Everyone else around you has their life in check, but you're just standing there like, and me? What about me? It may not be that was my situation. Your situation may be different. Everyone around you has graduated and you're just looking at yourself like, okay, and me? What does God have for me in store? I've been applying. I've been applying for unis. No one's getting back to me. Everyone else around me is starting to make a lot of money, and I've just started my job, but I'm a cleaner. But everyone else around me, my friends are this, my friends are that. But you get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's wait for God's best. I'm like, everything's gonna make sense in a few minutes. Okay, cool. Bear with me because like I waffle too much. Sorry. And then that was November. Cool. So I'm shattered. I'm broken. Like I think there was even a period of time where I wasn't even writing my journal. Like when I don't write my journal, that's how you know I'm mad. Because bruh, guys, I kid you not. The end of November. My sister applies, like randomly she comes home and she was like, oh, I'm gonna apply for you at this place. I'm not gonna disclose because that's actually where I still work at right now. But she's like, I'm gonna apply for you at this place. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, but obviously I lost faith. I was like, yeah, cool, whatever, you apply and let me know, because I've applied to so many places, and so she applies. The next day I'm walking, I remember I was on a phone call with my friend, and a private number called me and they were like, oh, are you still looking for a job? I was like, oh my God, yes, I'm still looking for a job. They gave me an interview date. I went for my interview. Everything went well. I met a lovely guy. I met a lovely guy. And then they called me back. They said, yeah, we've given you the job, but you're going to be doing night shifts, not day shifts. I said, it's fine. give me the day give me the night shifts. It's fine. I'll do anything. I'll clean at this point, bro. Like when I tell you, it got to a point where I was applying to cleaning jobs. I'm being so real. I said applying to cleaning jobs. I said applying to dog walking. I said applying to this, to that. I said applying. I was so desperate. Child minding. I even did a course in child minding, like an online course. I was so desperate. Me, who has had, fair enough, I don't have a PhD. I don't have anything, but I applied for a cleaning job. Right? Not saying that there's anything wrong with it, judging anyone. Nah, but I applied for a cleaning job because I was so desperate. I needed the money. And at that point, my sister was going through her divorce and we needed money to move out. So she was like, Connie, you need to get a job. We need to make it out together. How are we going to do it? I said, babe, you're asking me. I don't have a job. I don't have money. Do you get? So I was like, Lord, I really need to get out of this place, but I need money. I need a job. Anyways, so yeah, cool. So I started my first day, night shift, babe. Night shift, babe, picking and packing. Christmas temp, I remember. It was the first day of December of 2020. I got my job. So the whole of December, I worked a night shift and I got my first pay. I remember I tithed because I was like, God, I'll tithe. Listen, I made a promise I'll tithe 10%. And ever since the first time I got paid till today, I've put 10% away for God. There is not a single penny that I've got, and I've not put 10% away for God, because I know what he did for me. Guys, the story gets better. So yeah, cool. So 1st of December, I start working night shifts and stuff like that, blah, 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 blah. And then we were about like 10 people. And then the 1st of January comes, and they were like, okay, cool, your contract's ending. Because it was a temporary contract, right? And then they were like, oh, I need to be quick. Sorry, guys. And they were like, yeah, your temporary contract is ending, blah, 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 blah. We're going to move you to today. I was like, oh my God. They said, but your contract's going to be it's going to be another 2 months temporary contract just for day shifts. I said, that's fine. So they moved me on to day shifts, because remember, we were 10 people. Then they only moved 3 people from night shifts to day shifts. Only 3 people. And I was part of those 3 people. So I moved to day shifts, picking and packing, and I made sure that I was at my best behavior and all that kind of stuff. And why I'm saying wait for God's best, it's coming. It's coming. So then I was day shift, picking and packing and blah, 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 the whole of January. Then February came. My contract was meant to end on the 27th or 26th of February. But then there was an opportunity that came up. And my manager really liked me. She was like, Connie, I really like how you work, blah, blah, blah. You're so devoted to how you work, da, 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 da. You don't gossip. You don't do this. But anyway, like, I used to make sure I was my best behaved. And then she was like, okay, cool, there's another opportunity that's come up. Your contract will be extended until April. So I said, yeah, that's fine. But I keep on telling her, madam, I need the money. Like, I need a constant job, because like I had now started paying rent because we moved out. And then I had started paying rent. Like, I had started going halves with my sister. I have bills to pay. I'm a big babe at 18 years old. Was I 18 or 19? I was 18. I was 18. No, I was 19. I was 19 years old. I have bills to pay. I need a permanent job. So I was telling her, I was honest with her. I said, madam, I actually have bills to pay. Like, is it okay for you to make this contract permanent? She was like, no, there are no permanent contracts at the moment. She was just longing it out, bruv. But I said, it's fine. It's fine. Cool. So then an opportunity came in end of Feb or beginning of Jan of COVID testing, right? Like, then they were like, do you want to do COVID testing? I said, yeah, it's fine. I'll do COVID. Guys, I was so desperate. I was like, yeah, I'll do COVID testing. So I started doing COVID testing. I did COVID testing, I want to say, from March, April, May, June of 2021. And then there was another opportunity that came to work behind the healthcare counter. So we're like, do you want to work at the healthcare counter? I said, yeah, I work at the healthcare counter, but I don't have any experience with biology. I failed biology. Well, I didn't fail biology, but I didn't get the best grades in biology. Bruh, in my A-levels, I did not do any healthcare or science or anything. Bruh, I did art in A-level. So I was like, yeah, it's fine. Like, it's fine. They were like, okay, they moved me to healthcare. After moving me to healthcare, then there was an opportunity of COVID testing manager. It came up. And my manager at the time was like, I don't have a better person than you, Connie. Like, I want you to be the COVID testing manager. I said, this is good. This is good. And then by the way, they made my contract permanent. And then I became the COVID testing manager. But they did not increase my pay. It was just like a role, like team leader, basically. I did that for June, July, August, September. And then around September of 2021, a new opportunity came for me to work in the pharmacy as a dispenser. So I just want you guys to see, like, it goes on, it gets better. But I just want you guys to see the hand of God in my life. I'm not going to say it was easy, but it's just a testimony for you guys to know that wait for God's best. You don't understand the plans that he has for you, for he knows the plans that he has for you. Guys, I could have never imagined that 1 year from that time where they gave me the job as team leader, that I was crying, saying, God, I want you to move. I was applying for cleaning jobs, but God told me, hold on, he has something better for me. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Cool. And I told you about that job that flopped, you know, where they declined me. COVID hit again, and they closed down every restaurant in January of 2021. So if I had got that job in November, I would still be jobless in January. But the job that he gave me, aligned me and allowed me to work throughout the pandemic to fund the bills that I have to pay and all that kind of things. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So wait for God's best. Because if I had got that job in November, I wouldn't have been able to fund my stuff. Because it would have been, bruh, even the restaurant right now is closed. They closed down that restaurant. It's not open. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So yeah, cool. September comes now. They were like working the pharmacy as a dispenser. I said, but I don't have any experience. Blah blah blah. I said, Connie, just come. Just come. That's God's favor. Because for me, I was in that quiet time from September to December, or from to November. Every time I would pray, I would ask God, I pray that you give me your favor. I just want favor. I just want your love. I just want your presence. So I'm just saying all of this. If you feel like you're in a season of isolation, if you feel like you're in a season where you feel stuck, if you feel like you're in a season where you just don't understand what's going on, I'm telling you, that's the season you have to press and pray and speak over your future season to come. Because I'm telling you, it's those prayers that I prayed over myself that carried me in my job right now. Because as we speak, anyway, I don't want to. So September of 2021, I got given the opportunity to become a dispenser. So I learned how to be the dispenser. It was not easy. None of this is easy. COVID testing was not easy. Me being in healthcare was not easy. Me being a team leader of COVID was not easy. It was the hardest thing. It's very hard. You're bringing a babe who did art in A-level to do these things. It's not easy. Anyways, but it's by God's grace. God made it easy. When God makes a way, he will see you through it. Anyways, so yeah, cool. So September, November, December, January of 2022, I'm a dispenser. I'm still a team leader in COVID and all that kind of stuff. So COVID closed down. That we didn't need, that period of time where you didn't need to take a test to travel. So COVID closed down in my workplace. So I still had the dispenser. So I just want you guys to see that God will provide. Even when COVID testing, they stopped it. People got laid off. The people who I used to manage, they got laid off because we didn't have any more opportunities for them because COVID's done. Like, what are you still here? But for me, God kept opening door after door after door after door for me. Did you get what I'm trying to say? Cool. So January up to, I want to say September of 2022, I was a dispenser at my old store. And yeah, I really learned a lot. And I think, actually in January, they gave me the role of assistant manager. But I was still tied to pharmacy manager because my pharmacy manager at that time, he was now elevating to go to become a store manager himself. So he was like, so obviously they needed someone to take over as pharmacy manager. This was January of 2022. So my manager was like, Connie, the same guy who interviewed me, the same guy, he was my manager. He was the same guy who was like, Connie, I cannot think of anyone else to give this title but you. In 2022, in January, I was 20 years old. I became the pharmacy manager, right, of the store that I was in. Bruh, people used to be like, when there was complaints that go through, they'll be like, can I speak to a manager? And my colleague, he's even old, I was the youngest in the team, and I was a manager, bruh. Yeah, like I want to say the oldest person was probably 65 and I was 20, bruh. Like people would be fighting, be like, I need to speak to a manager, and they'll be like, okay, I'm going to call my manager, and I would come out and they're like, are you the manager? I'd be like, yeah, I'm the manager. And then they're like, bruh, like you're actually small, like you're actually young. They'll be like, how old are you? I'm like, I'm 20. You get what I'm trying to say? Cool. But I was not officially signed off. Like I was not getting paid as a manager, unfortunately, at that time. Like, because it was training, innit? Like, because you have to go through like 6 months of training or like 7-8 months of training, and then they sign you off. So at the store that I was working in, they had enough managers. So unfortunately, I couldn't get signed off at that store. But then it had started becoming repetitive for me, and I was like, oh my God, like I need money. Like I need, because the responsibility was actually a lot. So I needed my pay to match up my like the money that I'm getting. So I was like, okay, like God help me out. I'm sorry guys, it's actually dragging 30 minutes. Whoa. But anyways, so in September of 2022, my manager was like, there's an opportunity in a store in central London they have they've created a new role for you, like for in the company. They've created a new role, and I'm nominating you to go and be the healthcare and services business manager. Are you guys hearing? From pharmacy manager to healthcare and services business manager in a new store in Central London. I said, manager, do you trust me? He was like, I literally, he was like, there's no one else. You, I'm picking you. How old am I? I'm 21. I was 21. I am 21. At that point, I'm 21. I was 21 years old. And I was like, wow. When I went for the interview, I was like, Lord, please go before me, go inside of me, go beside me, go behind me, go all around me. Because I don't want to accept a job where I don't have you in the lead. And he was like, I felt God's hand was like, it's fine, like it's going to happen. But I went for my interview. It was so amazing. My manager is the most loving person I've ever met in my life. My current manager, and even my before manager in my old store, he was amazing. He was really supportive. He was really caring. And now my manager, who is now, he's even more caring. He's even more supportive. He's even more loving. Like, I've seen God's hand in my life from every season of my life. Now, guys, I then moved, and on the 7th of November, I got my job in the store in Central London, and I've never been happier in my life. To be honest with you, I can cry right now, because when I look back at the time when I was struggling in 2020, I was like, God, please, what's happening? Like, I want to go to uni, then that failed. Guys, you don't understand how I felt when I got that email that my student finance had declined. You don't know how I felt when the guy messaged me and said, sorry, we're not taking you up for this job. You don't know how I felt. I felt so bad, and I felt so discouraged. But I don't know who I'm speaking to today who has listened to this testimony of mine. Please wait for God's best. God knows what he's doing. Don't be God in your life, guys. Today, and the thing is, I got my major promotion at 21 years old. I will say this, I've never been to uni a day in my life, but the money that I get it's just only God. I would have never thought in quarantine that I'll be getting the money that I'm getting today. God has provided. God has given me the grace. God has opened door after door after door in my life. And I believe this is not it. This is not the end. Bruh, I don't know what he has for me next year. I don't know what he has for me. I don't know. But I just keep trusting God, because I know, and it's that intimacy, those prayers that I prayed in my darkest season of my life, when I was just not understanding what is going on. It's those seasons that's carrying me. It's those prayers, that's carrying me. It's those prayers. Guys, wait for God's best. I don't know who I need to tell this to, please, for he knows the plans that he has for you. When you feel like your life is at a dead end, he knows the plans that he has for you. Please don't give up in prayer. Please keep praying. Please keep fasting. Please keep seeking. Please keep trying to build on your faith. Listen to sermons. Read the Bible. Bruh, don't complicate the Bible for yourself. I'll always say this. Don't complicate the Bible for yourself. Google verses that can help you in your season of depression. Google verses that can help you, give you joy. Google verses, and it will come. You don't need to complicate it, bruh. Look at it, will come up verses there, and cling onto those verses. Cleave onto those verses, and know that God is your provider. The Lord is your shepherd. You shall not be in want. The Lord cares for you. The Lord sees you. And it says, seek first the kingdom and all things shall be given to you. It really hurt me to seek the kingdom in 2020 when I could not understand what was happening. But I really ripped. I really ripped what I sowed, if that makes sense. The harvest is in my life right now. I'm telling you, I would not be at the level I am at today without those prayers that I prayed in 2020. Because of that period of my life, I was desperate, I was hungry, and I prayed for what they call the favor of the Lord. I said, Lord, the favor. I'm calling upon the favor of the Lord on my life. And I said, Lord, whatever generational curse, whatever anything from the enemy, I break it in the mighty name of Jesus. I seek God with all my heart in that season. Please wait for God's best. Please wait for God's best. When a door closes, know that a bigger door is going to open for you. When that door closed for me in November, I didn't know that, you know what, just wait a few moments. And also in your season, because I could have easily had too much pride and say, bruh, how could me, night shift, picker, packer, bruh, look at where it took me. You can literally start as the cleaner and end up as the boss, as the big boss, bruh. I started as a night shift picker, packer, bruh. I'm now the healthcare and services business manager. Trust in God. Have faith in God. Know whose you are. He can lift you up from the dust and place you on the table with your enemies. You're the head and you're not the tail. Guys, you really need to understand that, yeah, it sucks. Guys, it sucks that, you could be in a season of lack. You could be in a season of depression. You could be in a season where you just don't understand what's going on. But you need to understand that greater is He that is inside of you than he who's in this world. Cling onto His word. Cry in His presence. Be open. Go in His presence and cry. Don't cry to no one else, because guess what? No one has the answers. No one has your blessing in their hand. No, only God does. The amount of times I was desperate in God's eyes, in God's presence, in God's mercy, in His power, in His courts, I was said, God, no, I can't. This cannot be me. And don't. I'm not reached there, bruh. I still need God even in my now season, because I'm still in a place where I'm still asking God for more things in my life, because there's some things in my life where I feel like, okay, God, I feel a little bit stagnant here. Like, please help me. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But I'm just saying, guys, it does not matter if you've been to uni, if you've not been to uni, if you failed, if you didn't fail, if you come from a broke family, if you come from a rich family, bruh. I don't have my mom, I don't have my dad. But look at where God has become my mom, God has become my dad. He's provided for me. He's cared for me. He's loved me. Please, wait for God's best in your life. I want to leave you with this Bible scripture. It is Isaiah 40, chapter 40, verse 31. But they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not grow faint. Yeah? Please, cling on a verse, cling on scripture, go cry to God, guys. Cry in His presence. Cry and let Him know you're tired of this season. Tell Him He will give you the strength to pass through it. You've listened to this. If it gives you faith, it gives you hope, go in His presence, say, Lord, please, Father, see my situation. Give me faith, give me hope, give me courage, Lord. Because my Bible says, if I wait for you, you renew my strength. I will mount up on with wings like eagles. I will run and not be weary. I will walk and not grow faint. Lord, give me that strength right now. All right? So I just want to pray for everyone right now under the sound of my voice, that Father, that you please give them strength to keep on going, strength to look up, Lord, and not down, like strength to keep on pushing, that every day, even though it's hard, that they don't see where it's going to come from, they don't understand how it's going to happen, Lord, I pray that you give them the strength. I pray that you give them the peace that surpasses all understanding, Lord, and I pray that you make it happen for them, that you strengthen their faith. And come to understand as well, Lord, that, the prayer is done, amen. But I just want to say as well, come to understand that you go through seasons so that God can get His glory. So, because, I would not thank God, or I would not be as grateful as I am today if I didn't go through that season. I'm grateful. Okay? I complain that I'm tired. I complain that I'm drained. But I always, even when I'm at work, I just sit there and I say, Lord, I thank you for this job. When I'm on the train, I thank you for this job. When I'm talking, I thank you for this job. If I go to bed, I thank you for my job. For me, it produced gratitude for me in my life. But keep on pushing the brakes, my lovelies. I love you so much. As always, my DM is open. I've talked too much, way too much this episode. But I just want you to know that I love you guys so much. All right? And keep on pushing the brakes. And please come into my DMs if you want me to pray for you or for us to talk about something. My DMs are always open. I love you and stay blessed.